So we're going to focus on the skill we're going to do today is building optimism. In the Air Force curriculum, it's called counting blessings or count your blessings. So we're going to practice that today. When you're thinking about building optimism, we want to think about what the goals of that are. It's to cultivate gratitude, to increase your positive thinking, helping you to cope with those daily hassles and stresses. I don't know about you, but those daily hassles and stresses have significantly changed in my household. And then improving your quality of life. So, you know, if you look at the graphic that's on the screen, you're going to see two models of what look like tornadoes. So if you think about what happens when you have that pressure or that force from suction, if you are in a negative mode, if you're thinking negatively, and if you're just feeding that with more negativity, you're going to be sucked into the vortex. You're going to be sucked in, you can see the downward arrow, and it's going to just continue to feed those negative emotions. So one way to pull yourself out of that, to have a reverse effect, is to build gratitude, to build optimism, where it can pull you out of that section of what's funneling you down and can undo those negative emotions. So that's what we're really thinking about when we're thinking about building optimism. So many of you on the team are already positive thinkers, and you strive for that. I think there are times in life where it's really easy to get caught up in the negative and to just the woe is me. I have to intentionally take the time to think about what has gone well for me instead of focusing on what has not gone well. So how do we build optimism? What do we do? Some people have more capacity to do this naturally. Others need practice. Others need modeling and teaching. The thing about resiliency skills is it's not a matter of you just have what you have and that's all you've got. You can actually grow, you can build, you can learn new things. So what I want you to do right now, very briefly, jot it down, type it somewhere, keep it in your head, that's fine. We're going to do an activity of counting your blessings. I'm not going to ask you to share it out. This is a personal experience for you, but I want you to identify 3 things that went well for you in the past 24 hours. So think about from 11 a.m. yesterday till 11 a.m. today. Was there an event that happened? Was there something that you're good at that you got to practice? Was there a goal that you achieved? Or are there individuals that who care for you that maybe did something kind for you? So thinking about in the last 24 hours, 3 things that went well. It can be very small, like I took my pajamas off and put real clothes on today. Like it could be something magnificent, like you got a call from a family member and you've inherited $1 million. You know, it could be a variety of ideas, but I want you to really just think about 3 things that have gone well for you in the past 24 hours. So I'll give you just a little bit of time to kind of put that together. And I found this little quote from Lucille Ball that I just thought was really awesome that I wanted to include, which it says, making optimism a way of life can restore your faith in yourself. That is so true, because I think that when I'm in that negative vortex, I often am just doubtful of myself. My anxiety rises. I think I'm not doing it well enough. And so when you take those moments to build optimism and to count your blessings, it helps pull you away from that. And it gives you the opportunity to believe in who you are and your skills and your abilities. So the next piece of that, I hope you've had enough time, is reflection. When we think about building optimism, when we think about building our resilience, we have to think about what the contributing factors are to helping it go well. So why did it go well? Those things that went well for you in the last 24 hours, what contributed to that? Was it support from a family member? Was it your desire to make it better? What really contributed to that? And then how did you or others in your life contribute to the good thing that happened? Because we want to think through that and reflect on it so that we can build more of it in the future. If we can go, you know what, it's because my spouse let me sleep in for 5 more minutes that I had the opportunity to be able to think more clearly today. Maybe it's because my children were very helpful with cleaning up the table after dinner, and it gave me a few more minutes to sit and play with them because they were helpful. Thinking about why it went well and how others contributed are a really important factor in building optimism. So how do we make it a practice? What do we do to make this a habit for us every day? There are ways to do it other than just, journaling it. We've talked about that. I used to do one when I was a school-age staff member. I was a college student, was working in a SAC program on an Air Force base, and I had some children in my classroom who were testing my skills as a teacher. And so I used to put 3 pennies in my pocket. I would have one like in my left pocket, and by the end of the day, my goal was to have had 3 positive thoughts about those children. And so I had to move them to my right pocket. So maybe you can move the pennies. Maybe you have 3 pennies in your pocket, and by the end of the day, you need to make sure you've had 3 positive thoughts. It could be guitar picks, it could be paper clips, whatever you want those to be. Another one that my family does is called Good, Better, Best. I think I've shared this with some of you before, and this is not an original Heather idea. This is something I learned from a parent of 7 children. And the idea is we sit at the dinner table and we say good, better, best. So tell me something good that happened from your day today. Tell me something better that happened, and what was the best thing that happened throughout your day. And so it's a really great way to build optimism and gratitude with your family as a whole, or with others that you're spending time with. What I think is cool about Good, Better, Best in the state of being sheltered at home is you could actually do this in a virtual platform, like maybe get your family on FaceTime who are all over, or on Zoom or something, and you could have a good, better, best moment in that conversation. You can make it into a song. You could sing a song. There's all kinds of ways that you can count blessings and build optimism. But the important thing is I want you to start doing it every day for 1 full week. So for 7 days, identify 3 things that went well for you in the last 24 hours. And then after that, you can vary the frequency because it will help you find the right fit. Some people find that having to do it every day after that week feels like a chore. So maybe you do it once a week, or maybe you do it, every other day, but just find something that fits for you that helps it feel like the practice that you want it to be able to help you really build that optimism and to show gratitude in moments where we're all feeling just a little overwhelmed, frustrated, anxious, and just not knowing. There's a whole lot of uncertainty right now, but there are things we can control, and that can be our attitude towards the situation. So that was my resiliency tip for this week.